What up? It's Chen Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all, I have a fantastic show ready for you guys today. In breaking news, Desmond Scott has been caught making out, tonguing down a woman after Chrissy Scott files for divorce. We have that video for you. Also, in lead stories, we have a bunch to talk about with Minnesota, Iran, and Donald Trump. Iran threatens Donald Trump, and they say that this time they will not miss. Stephen Miller says ICE has federal immunity. Donald Trump said that he is ready and he may invoke the Insurrection Act. Donald Trump also admits to not wanting the midterm elections. And unfortunately, there has been another ICE incident where somebody has been shot in Minnesota by an ICE officer. In quick news, we're going to talk Cadri B, DJ Akademiks, and ladies, are you ready for iPolish? As always, we're going to close out the show with social discussion and lesson of the day. Stay tuned for that. I got a lot going on in social discussion and lesson of the day. All right, y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Come on, I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right. Get in here, y'all. Get in here. I have, let me start the live on Instagram. I'm in a good mood today. I'm feeling hype. We got a lot of news to talk about and a lot of things to cover. I hope y'all feeling good. I mean, just in general, y'all know that I'm always feeling good on a Thursday. It starts off with a Wednesday, then Thursday I get hype, and then tomorrow, everyone's favorite day, we all start our weekend, okay? We are going to, we're going to kick things off here. This is the cover of the show. We are going to kick things off with a video that just was put out by TMZ, literally almost like an hour, maximum like 45 minutes ago, okay? Desmond Scott, yes, the now famous social media couple that filed for divorce about 2 weeks ago, just at the last day of 2025. Everyone's been talking about it. Desmond Scott put out a statement saying, hey, I want privacy during this time. Well, now we know why he wants privacy, because it looks like Desmond has a new side ting. I'm just going to jump in and play the video. This video has no sound, so this is the video actually from my IG feed that I just put up, and I did the reels right before I started with you guys, okay? Here is the video just put out by TMZ.
The Battle Royale.
Sorry. Keep on forgetting I got to remove this.
Begun. The Battle Royale has begun. The social media divorce of the century. Desmond Scott kissing mystery woman after wife Christy files for divorce. And after yesterday, Christy was flexing about same address. Woo! Look at this. Yo, this is the type of mess we love. Let me get myself out of here. Yo, go ahead, Desmond. Hold up. Come back here, cameraman. Yo, cameraman, get a little closer in there. Hold on. I'm out of here. Hold on. Yes. By the way, there's no sound to this. Hold on. Get back down there, cameraman. Who is this Aaron Pierre looking fool? Get out of there. Here we go. He is going in. Woo! That's a lot of tongue there. Hold up. Look at that. Woo! Hands. He got his hands wrapped around real tightly. Yeah, let's give us that slow motion. Get that arm out of there. Woo! Yo, I love a messy divorce. Woo! All right, this is going down. For those of you who may have missed it, Christy Scott posted this picture along with others yesterday saying, same address. Basically, Desmond is saying, you can keep the house. I want the girls. Guys, this is just the beginning. This is going to be the messiest divorce ever. We'll talk about this on the Try Out Loud show. Link in bio.
All right, so there you go. Hey, what's going on here? Why aren't I on the screen? Yeah. So I'll just put this picture up. This is yesterday. This is what Christy put out yesterday, and everybody was going crazy online. And she put same address saying, look, the divorce is going down, but I'm keeping the house. Desmond followed that up really quickly today within 24 hours saying, okay, you can keep the house. However, I'm about ready to live my life. You guys know that they met each other around, I think it was around, 14 years old. They started dating. So arguably, this is the first time that he's got to be out. He's in his early 30s. This is the first time that he's got to be out on his own, doing his thing, right? So it looks as if, though, some of the people who were online saying, listen, Desmond was fed up. He wanted to just get away. And, he doesn't, he's not thinking necessarily about the marriage and about her. He's thinking about himself because of how poorly treated he was. And he wants to be with a girl who's going to treat him better. This is what kind of he's indirectly telling us. You know what I mean? Like, Christy was the problem and it wasn't about the money. The sad part is they have 2 kids. Not too many people talk about that, but I think when you get married and you have kids, that's a time where you can't necessarily think about yourself. Your kids should come first. But, when you're together with somebody since you're 14 years old, you get into adulthood, especially you get money, you might think, geez, maybe I got into this a little too early. So anyways, that is what has been going down in social media land. Let's jump over quickly and get into Minnesota, ICE, and everything along those lines. All right, let's jump into that right now. Okay, one of the first things we're going to talk about is something that came out literally right after I got off the air yesterday. Iran has threatened Donald J. Trump, and it is not a subliminal threat. It's not a halfway threat. It's a full threat. Take a listen.
We're following some breaking news.
Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting I got to remove this from the stage. All right, here we go.
Iran after Iran threatens President Trump. Take a look at this social media post right now, sharing more details of this threat. This is from the New York Post saying Iran issues sickening assassination threat against Trump. Quote, this time it will not miss the target. And they also shared a photo of one of the assassination attempts against President Trump.
So y'all know that Trump has been very adamant about the protests that's been going on. And he said if there was any more unaliving, he was going to do something about it. So that's why Iran has been, not stopping. They're like, all right, you say whatever you want. We're not going to stop. We do know that we're not even close to knowing the amount of protesters that have been unalived. There's some reports that are 2,000. Some people say it's upwards of over 5,000 or 6,000. So this is where the back and forth has been going. And if you ask me, this is Iran just doubling down. So at first they were like, all right, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue. And now we're sending out a threat to Donald Trump. And they're saying this time they're not going to miss. I put this out on Instagram yesterday, and I was like, with them saying they're not going to miss, is that them alluding to when he had the attack on him when he was during the presidential when they were campaigning? Are they alluding to the fact that they've tried to get him before and they missed? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys, but it seems like it's getting messy and Donald Trump is spreading himself thin. A threat from Iran. He still has Venezuela to deal with. There's always China and Russia. And then, of course, everything that's going on at home. So Donald Trump has his plate filled. All right, let's go now over to Stephen Miller, a Donald Trump alumni, and he is making a very bold statement about ICE agents and the immunity they might have. If you ask me, this is just adding fuel to the fire and making American citizens feel triggered and unsafe. Take a look.
To all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. And the Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice.
Now, again, like I said, for the life of me, I cannot figure out why you'd want to put this message out with the White House behind you. You know what I mean? Like, this is a message to some agents that, let's say there's 10,000 of them. You could have sent that out in a private internal memo. You know what I mean? You could have had Kristi Noem just let them know, hey, da. Now, we don't even know the actual immunity that they have. This is Stephen Miller saying something. That is up to the Supreme Court, and there's still some things that they are not allowed to do. It's not complete immunity. That does not exist. However, this is the administration threatening the American people. And that's what I find is disgusting, because you are supposed to be the administration for the people. These are the people who put you in power and put you in your place. And you're literally sending a warning to them indirectly by telling your ICE agents, you got full immunity. Don't worry, we got your back, on national television to scare Americans, people in Minnesota, to be like, we're going to stop the protests and we're going to stop backing down. That is not going to happen. Americans are patriots. Americans are people that are not going to take things like this laying down from anybody. That is the American people, the land of the free, the home of the brave. So you can't expect to have ICE agents that are, it's the word I'm looking for, that are passionate and patriots and willing to do whatever you tell them to for their country, and you don't think American citizens are going to be the same way? No, this is the American way. So I just feel like this is just adding too much fuel to the fire. Now, if you want to go and add even more fuel to this fire, look what Donald Trump just put out this morning. Donald Trump threatens to invoke the Insurrection Act and deploy troops to put an end to protest in Minnesota. He said this: if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking patriots of ICE who are only doing their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which many presidents have done before me. That's not true. And quickly put an end to the travesty that has taken place in that once great state. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, for those of you who might not know like the details of the Insurrection Act, I want to pull this up and let you all know. The Insurrection Act is a U.S. federal law that gives the president the authority to use federal military forces or the National Guard inside the United States in certain emergency cases. It can be used when state or local governments cannot or will not protect people's constitutional rights. There is an insurrection, rebellion, or extreme civil disorder. Federal law cannot be enforced through normal means. What the president can do is deploy active duty U.S. military troops, federalize and deploy the National Guard, override the governor's objection in rare cases. Now, wanted to give you guys some history behind this. This was originated, the Insurrection Act, in 1807, okay? Now, historical examples, listen to this. The desegregation efforts, which was enforcing school interrogation in 1950s and 60s. That was one time when it was used. The civil rights era unrest. So that was Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, the civil rights movement, Black Panther movement. 1992, the Los Angeles riots, that's Rodney King. And then Hurricane Katrina for law and order support. Why it is controversial? It gives the president very broad power. Critics worry it can be used to over-militarize domestic issues. Now, in simple summary, the Insurrection Act allows the president to use the military inside the U.S. only in extreme situations when normal law enforcement cannot keep order or protect constitutional rights. Now, I wanted to take my time to read that for the people on the right, the Donald Trump supporters or MAGA. Y'all know I pride myself on having both here on this platform. We like everyone's opinions, and this is a discussion. Every single thing that I just read to you, I ask you, do you feel like there is a need to invoke the Insurrection Act. Every time it has been used historically, and like I read off, 3 or 4 times? He said many presidents, so that's not true. But I ask you, is there another way to calm things down? Is this something that the police can't handle? Is this something that the National Guard in Minnesota can't handle? All Donald Trump has to do to end this or quiet things down is say, we are going to pull our ICE troops out. We're going to take a break and let things cool off. You don't need the Insurrection Act for that, sir. You are in control. DHS is in control. All Kristi Noem has to do is remove ICE agents, because the people of Minnesota, the protesters or agitators, whatever you want to call them, y'all know me how I argue. I'll take your points and argue them for you. They are there because ICE is there. This is not a school segregation issue where whites and blacks are fighting. This is not a civil rights movement. This is nothing between two people that the normal police can't handle. This is between the federal government and the people. All you have to do is remove those federal agents. They will do what you say. Kristi Noem, Donald Trump. So it is ridiculous that he would even suggest the Insurrection Act. Okay. Let's stay on Trump, but go to the midterms, which I found was very interesting what Trump said today. Take a listen to this.
Serious news this afternoon. In a new interview with Reuters, Donald Trump has been in his clearest form yet, saying that we should not have a midterm election. He was asked point blank about his prospects heading into the 2026 midterms, was upset and expressed frustration that Republicans may not do well and that the party of the president typically does not perform well in midterm elections. He said, quote, "It's some deep psychological thing, but when you win the presidency, you don't win the midterms. When you think of it, we shouldn't even have an election." This comes just 1 week after he went on stage in front of House Republicans and joked about abolishing the 2026 midterm elections. Well, that joke on stage has now turned into a serious comment he boasted about in an interview with Reuters. We will see if this takes in another form. It's also unclear how he would even do something like that. But this is what the president is now openly talking about right now.
I'm really sorry. Like, y'all know me. I'm all for the jokes. I'm all for being funny. But you're also the president of the United States. There are some situations, I'm not going to be ignorant and say, like, I don't know Donald Trump's personality. I get it. I get how he is. Some people don't like when I say that, but I call it like it is. He's been that way before he's president and now. You don't sit down in an interview and make this kind of statement. Okay, Caroline Leavitt is right now, as we speak, holding press conferences saying, oh, he's just joking. Oh, you know how he is. No, he has said that he wants to run for a third term. Steve Bannon has come out half an hour ago and said that there's ways and they're working on it. He's running it. And for him to sit down and say to Reuters, listen, it's this mental thing where as soon as you win the presidency, the midterms, the opposite party wins. Yeah, the same thing happened with Barack Obama. They passed, they had the House, they had the Senate, they passed Obamacare, and then there was a red wave in the midterms. And then for the next 6 years, Obama couldn't do anything. Now, you might not like it. You could say you don't like it, but to say we shouldn't have midterms and you're the president of the free world, home of the free, the land of the free, the home of the brave, that is unconstitutional. That is the whole point of the existence of the United States of America that is turning 250 years old this year. A president that prides himself on being America first, that has one of the greatest, most marketable slogans of all times, MAGA, Make America Great Again, and you want to literally cut the legs out from the Constitution and say you do not want to have an election of midterms. This is democracy, sir. I really feel like anybody who supports Donald Trump should be bothered by this and do not hide behind the fact that it's a joke, okay? Now, let's go to Minnesota. As soon as we wrapped yesterday, this broke. There was you want to call it protest, a gathering, something was going on in Minnesota like it has been going on. And the reason why I don't know exactly what to call it is that there are different reports. So while there was either a gathering or an arrest or what have you, allegedly, somebody was resisting, and apparently two people came out their house, and one of them had a shovel and attacked an ICE agent, and one of the ICE agents shot them in the leg. They're in the hospital, but not in critical condition. Now, the reason why it's hard to report on this is because I'm going to play a video here for you where the first video is talking about this is from the mayor, if I'm not mistaken, and he tells you about the incident. But then also there's a report that DHS is reporting, talking about the man with the shovel that was attacking the ICE agent. And if you guys remember from last week, when Kristi Noem came out and DHS, before there was any evidence, she came out and said, Renee Good is a domestic terrorist. She was looking to hit this guy with the car, the ICE agent. So you cannot take, or we cannot take what the DHS says to us. So there's been no facts or anything on record that shows that this ICE agent that shot this American citizen in the leg was actually attacking them with a shovel. This is just coming from Kristi. Okay, so that's the setup. Take a listen.
Preliminary information indicates that there was a struggle with a federal agent in front of the resident. During the struggle, the federal agent discharged his weapon, striking one adult male. The adult male then retreated inside of the residence, where he remained inside and refused to come out. Eventually, federal agents made entry into the residence, and the individual was brought to an ambulance where he has been transported to the hospital. There's a crowd gathered in the area. They have thrown fireworks at police officers, and at multiple times, gas has been deployed. Police are attempting to disperse this unlawful assembly at this time. I urge anyone that is at the scene to leave immediately.
The DHS, they also say two other people then came out of a nearby apartment. They joined in the attack using a snow shovel and a broom handle. And during that struggle, the officer fired what DHS is calling defensive shots, hitting the original suspect in the leg. Two people are now in custody.
Again, just want to highlight, that was not a quote unquote report from a reporter. That was from DHS, Kristi Noem. And you decide if you feel like you could take a report from DHS and Kristi Noem. That is up to you. I don't feel like it's trusted. All right, that is all I have for lead stories. Let's jump into quick news. We're going to talk Cadri B, DJ Akademiks, and a new iPolish. I want to know if you ladies are down for this. Let's go. All right, I'm beginning to think that y'all are not into Cadri B like y'all used to, man, because Cadri B is getting dragged online. As you know, Cadri B is trying to put all of the internet drama aside, and she is trying to focus on her tour. Now, last week it was, is Cadri B going broke? Is her tour gonna go off? Because she came out and she was saying, look, we went over budget. I have to put my own money in. I got to find a sponsor, but the tour will go on. Now, she put out a video saying, I'm kind of going back and forth on the theme of my tour, and she has decided to go with a schoolgirl theme. And she's getting backlash because some people are like, why a schoolgirl theme? Like, that doesn't fit who you are. And two, which you'll hear Cardi first, and then you'll hear just a random TikToker or like an influencer saying, why are you picking a theme after your album has been done and your album doesn't have a theme? So she compares it to Beyonce, Cowboy Carter, for example. That was a country album. So just indirectly, the theme picks itself. We're all going to dress up in cowboy hats and jeans and stirrups or whatever. It wasn't like Beyonce did a normal Beyonce album and she said, hey guys, it's going to be a cowboy theme. No, the theme has to go with the theme of the album. So, Cadri B kind of got caught trying to pick up on a trend that Beyonce started. And the trend is, not only are we going to have music, not only are we going to have a concert, but we're also going to show up and we're all going to dress alike. Beyonce is a pioneer. Chris Brown also did something like this, and this is the new wave. Listen to Cardi B explaining it, and then the influencer after. Take a listen.
Overwhelmed with these questions about what are we wearing for tour, and to be honest, so I kind of came up with something because, like, I don't know if you guys want to play a game with me, and I don't know, like, I was thinking, like, maybe like New York, we could go Met Gala theme, like everybody's just like dressed up nice or something like that, and probably like in California we could do my schoolgirl looks, or I don't know, and then some states, like, it's like, okay, like Chicago, everybody could wear, I don't know, red, and then like in Florida, everybody wears yellow, and then in one everybody could wear pink, or like in one state everybody will wear black. Like, let me know if you guys want like a list of like all the states and like what color or theme should they dress, because I really don't know, like, you know, I'm not like a person that like have just one look. I know I like to like do different stuff. I don't know what this is ya tour. This is ya tour. This is the Cardi tour, but this is ya party. Like, this is our party. So let me know what you guys want me to do or what you guys suggest.
The reason why Cardi B doesn't need a theme for her concert is because the artists like Breezy Bowl and Beyonce, they create worlds. So their albums are theme centric. In order to create a theme for your concert, your album has to have a theme. So Beyonce, Renaissance, Alien, Galactic, right? Cowboy Carter, country. If the third one is rock, rock has so many different types of genres and subgenres up under that you could dress punk rock, grunge rock, metal, heavy metal rock, punk rock. Like, you have to, in order to have a themed concert, the album, the music that you play has to be themed.
She has a point. She has a point. But I just feel like the internet is shifting and kind of, you know, hating on Cardi a little. And I think it really stems from her divorcing Offset. And it kind of got a lot of her fans behind her saying, yes, girl, we're happy. You should have left him a long time ago. He was cheating on you. And I think if Cardi would have stayed single and kind of like did her thing, but then she went with Stephon Diggs, which I and everybody else said was a huge mistake. Then we find out that Stephon has civil suits. He's been accused of SA. He has 3 kids after her, 2 more on the way. Baby mama drama. It's like, yo, come on, Cardi. We had your back through all of this, and now you're on with Stephon. And I think that's where the hate comes from. Even last week, when I was telling you guys about the, what was it? I think it was about the concert money, but it was also something, I think, like her arguing with like Tasha K. And a lot of you people, my out louders in the comment section, were like, yo, I'm kind of done with her, man. You know, like, you know, she's just being a loudmouth and not even concentrating on the music. So we'll watch it, you know, but the Cardi B hate train is in effect. Okay. Next, we're going to go over to DJ Akademiks. He is getting sued for defamation. Now, a lot of you, I know I have a pretty big female audience, and I'm sure a lot of you are not fans of DJ Akademiks. Look, DJ Akademiks is a pioneer in this content creator space, YouTube space. So I respect him for that. He's a fellow Jamaican. Shout out to that. And he was born in Jamaica. But while I have respect for Akademiks for being a pioneer in this space, and you know, I do like his you know, you know, what he has done for hip hop culture. My issue with him is the views and the takes he has with women. That is where I separate myself with him. And I've even said that, just even from an advice standpoint, I feel like Akademiks could be even bigger than he is and go a little bit more mainstream if he didn't have these horrible, misogynistic, derogatory takes all the time with female. He always seems to find a female to attack, whether it be Jess Hilarious, whether it be Mona on Joe Budden's podcast, whether it be Megan Thee Stallion. And whether you like those people or not, it just feels like he's always out there trying to attack a woman at some point. And that's where, you know, I say, okay, I get the pioneer thing, but no, you know. And it seems like it might be getting him in trouble now. He was on stream and he was talking about escort culture. He had a influencer kind of TikToker on, and she had been doing some stuff with Trippie Redd, and he's alleged that she was an escort without saying alleged. And her mother got on her stream and was like, yo, you're not going to say that about my daughter. We're going to sue you for defamation. And you'll see in the video that Akademiks kind of backed down a little bit and kind of reverse course. This is the first time I have seen, for those of you who know Akademiks, he's known for crashing out on people and saying, yo, I don't care. I have money. I'm rich. I'm this, da, 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 da. Yo, he calmed down real quick. Take a look at this.
And women put out an idea that they have these unrealistic expectations of men is because they're into escorting culture. You and your homegirls are into escorting culture. Did you escort recently for Trippie Redd? I'm here to hopefully have a conversation that we can make a conclusion.
No. Why is that even coming out your mouth? It's 20 different girls on that trip.
That's what the new escorting experience is. Bring your friends. Bring your friends for this free trip that I'm hoping will turn into something romantic or intimate. Yeah, that's how escorting works.
Nobody did. What are you talking about?
That she did, and that's what you're trying to imply that she did.
This is the mom.
She's never done that. She's never done that in the past. She didn't do that, and she's not doing that in the future. So for you to get on the internet and say that, you're implying that she's an escort. You are defaming her character.
She went to ChatGPT and wrote up a whole cease and desist saying she's planning to sue me. You have people believing a false thing about me, and I'm like, there's many different issues there, right? There's many different issues. I accuse her of participating in what I call escort culture. If that is defamation, I don't know. But okay. She sent me this whole legal document. No lawyer listed. It says pro se. That's how I know she went to ChatGPT. I asked her, I say, hey, listen, what's your number? I'll get on the phone with you, like, just talk to you and be like, yo. Usually when people send a cease and desist, they're hoping you're not going to keep dragging it. That's basically the admitting the white flag that, hey, listen, people are starting to maybe reflect some thoughts based on our conversation about me, and this could be something that's not good for me. Could you not keep dragging it? Bro, I don't have, no one wakes up and says, what is Somalia doing today? No. So yeah, there's no malintent. There's no, I don't want to drag it or nothing like that. So I said, let's get on the phone. We didn't get anywhere. She was just like, I'm just hoping you could do a few things. And she had like a list of demands. She said, could you not call me that word again? Not too sure if I called her the word, even though I did admit that I said she participated in that culture. But maybe I did. Who knows? But she was like, could you please not talk about me with that again? Okay. I'm not talking about her every day. Cool, whatever.
So that's it. That is an Akademiks back down. You know what I mean? For him to say, yo, give me your phone number. Let's talk. Oh, you don't want me to call you an escort again? Okay, all right. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about you, so I'll stop. That is a big shift, all right? So we'll follow up on that. We'll see if there's any defamation brought. We know from the Megan Thee Stallion Milagro case, it's has set a precedent. This girl is part of media, so is Akademiks. If her act or myself say something that's defamatory, that doesn't automatically give you the right or opportunity to sue me civilly. You have to send a cease and desist letter. Hey, Trent Out Loud, you said this about me. Please take the videos down. Go back on your show and say, hey, I didn't mean to say this about Sarah. It was wrong. I was wrong. And done. And delete it. When you do that, defamation is done. So that's a cease and desist, and then you can't sue me. After you get the cease and desist, if you continue to say Sarah is this and Sarah is that, then is when the civil suit comes along. So we'll follow up with Ak and see where he goes with that. Okay. This one is fun. I wanted to ask the ladies what y'all think about this. There's a new nail polish called iPolish. You put on your nails. You don't have to go back to the salon to change them or change the color. Nothing. It's all digital. Take a look.
All you have to do is select.
Oops, sorry. I was getting good, huh?
On an app, it goes straight to your Bluetooth device here, and then in a matter of seconds, it automatically changes the color. So once it's green, it's done.
Today, so right now, I'll just go ahead and set these blues. And then it'll shuffle right through to that first blue that I chose.
That is so cool. Look at that. I don't know, ladies, y'all tell me, would you be down with that or what? Actually, you know what? I should show you guys the end. Look at the bottom of the nail or the inside of the nail. Look right there. People ditching on this. Does that bother you? I think it still looks kind of cool.
Can you show the front again?
Ladies, are you down for iPolish? I'm a guy. I have no take on this. It just looks cool to me. That's all I will say. All right, let's go over to social discussion of the day and lead story. I got some good things that we could talk about. And don't worry, I'm coming to. I see a lot of comments going on today. I'll be sending out a link. Anybody who wants to join me, video or audio, or of course, I'll just read out the comments and we could talk. Today's social discussion is, would you cut off your family if your family disrespected your partner? And also, ladies, do you want nice gestures or do you want a real man and a real relationship? Lesson of the day is pick your partner from their bad qualities. You are how you present and what attracts, and also real healing takes work. All right, let's go over to social discussion right now. But first, got to pay some bills. All right, before we go to social discussion, I have a very important question to ask y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Hold up, that's an indirect question. Let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are, all three of them, any devices. If you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, please go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud, to get your free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit card or banking information. You get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager. They also have US-based round-the-clock customer service. Also, in the event if anything does ever go wrong, Aura also includes, not offers, includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform, all right? You have the link below. It's absolutely 100% free. Or this is the QR code. Just take your phone out and your camera, point it. It will take you directly to that link. And why we talk about this every day is there are scams out there like crazy. It should be illegal for these companies like Netflix and Amazon and wherever you do put your name and your information. They are allowed to sell your information on the back end. They make money off of it. Unfortunately, your information that is supposed to go out for marketing purposes and seeing what you're buying sometimes lands in the hands of bad actors. And that is how you get text messages from people you never gave your phone number to, phone calls, emails. You click the link, you answer, you do something, your information is stolen, and it is a mess and a disaster to start everything over. For absolutely free, Aura can show you all of your information that is leaked online, and they will remove it for you absolutely free for 14 days. All right, so make sure you click the link or the QR code below. Now, before you get to social discussion, also just want to remind you guys about super thanks, or now that we're on the line live, there's also super chats. A lot of people ask, hey, we love your show. We watch every day. Do you have Venmo? Do you have PayPal? The best way to give back to the show is either a super chat or super thanks. The reason why I like it is it's right here on YouTube. Somewhere around the comments, there might be 3 dots. You just click it. You'll be able to decide how much you want to give to the show. And what's great is that you could delete the thanks and write any comment you want. It's like sending me a text message. I get a notification. I like it. I heart it. I reply right back to you. And if you want, I will read it on the next day's show. So if you did it today, I'll read it on tomorrow's show. Here is YouTube explaining it better than I can.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
And also, do not forget to sign up. You'll see right here on the screen, sign up for the Out Loud membership, and there's a join button above me. Okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't hit the horns today. All right. I think we've been having a good show. Round of applause for y'all. Okay, let's get to social discussion. I think I have a really, really good collection of social discussions today. The first one, really, really strong debate, I think, with this one. Would you cut off your family if your family disrespected your partner? Take a listen.
Marry into a family that didn't like you?
If they didn't like me,
Yeah.
like if I was getting disrespected all the time.
If that was your reality, would you be able to marry Brock?
I don't think we'd ever speak to his mom again.
You think he would cut his own mama out for you?
That's the man I chose, though.
Right.
And vice versa. If my dad disrespected my husband, you would never see me again. If a man chooses his family over me, you can have him.
What if he was more neutral?
You can't be neutral about me. It is or it isn't.
Her.
If you allow your family to disrespect me on the regular, I'm out. Somebody's going to be okay with the disrespect. I'm not that person. Like, I don't even understand that dynamic. How does that happen? That's different from me. But for somebody, it's going to work for them because people do it every day. That's why you hear monster-in-laws, right?
And you're telling me that you would cut off your parents?
To me.
What?
Dead to me. Now that I leave him, I no longer belong to my father. I belong to my husband.
Right.
We shall cleave to one another. And if you think, because this is the thing too, this goes back to who would you save, right? Children or spouse. This goes back to how do I choose something that either I came from or came from me, but not something that is of me. Because when two become one, we are one.
Right.
And not only when it is convenient.
Right.
So for me, because, and maybe this is nature versus nurture. Y'all heard my dad today. I already knew his answer. I know my mom's answer. They have always put each other first. Always. That was evident to me growing up my whole life. So maybe because that's what I've seen my whole life.
That's why you had
That's what I believe.
So let's just make this abundantly clear. This is not a girlfriend, boyfriend living. This is your husband, your wife. Okay. This is the person who you've chose to spend the rest of your life with and give your vows to. Now, anybody who knows the Christian religion, that is where she's coming from. The religion says, hey, if you could save your children or you could save your husband or wife, you're supposed to save your husband and wife. Your husband or your wife comes first above anything else, parents, even your own kids. I personally, for me, I disagree with that. For me, as a man, as a husband, I am not going to save my wife. I'm going to save my kids. And I would think the girl that I marry would want me to save our children and not save her. She has already lived her life. Our kids have not. And I would assume that she would want me to save them. I, the same way, would want my wife to pick the children. But let's talk about this on the family side, which is the more important conversation here, or not the more important, but the point of the video is if your family continuously disrespects. So, you know, you guys are married or this, whatever, there's an issue, let's say at like Thanksgiving, like, all right, that's one. Christmas comes around, it's kind of a little bit uncomfortable. Cool. You know what I mean? January, February, barbecue time, summer, boom, there's another incident. It's like, hey, goes to another Thanksgiving. It's been like a year, 2 years now. Like, y'all are disrespectful. Like, is there a time when you stop, or do your parents always have carte blanche? Are they always your parents and they could say whatever they want to your partner? She here is saying, when I get married, I'm no longer my father's daughter. I'm my husband's wife. I like that. I wouldn't want my wife to completely disregard her father at all. But the same way, like I'm very close with my mom, my wife would have to come before my mom, although she's my favorite girl in the world, but that's my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like aside from the children, I feel like your partner should come first. And if my mother, which she would never do this, and I know she's listening right now, like she would never, ever, ever do something like this. But if she continuously disrespected my wife, yeah, I would have to not be around because that is my wife. You guys know, you hear me talk about this all the time. You are a union, you become one. It's yin and yang. So you're disrespecting my wife, you're disrespecting me. And I'm going to work at it. I'm going to try to sit you guys down or whatever. But if there comes a time, then I do feel like your partner should come first. So I'm really interested to weigh in. I see a lot of comments about this, so I can't wait to get into that. Now, switching gears a little bit, but really, really, really dynamic, I think this is ladies, do you want nice gestures from men? Is that what you're looking for? Or are you looking for a real man and a real relationship? This guy has a really good take about coffee dates, which I have said, no, I'm not a big fan of coffee dates. I agree that if you, let's say you meet somebody online, you know, you're talking, or even if you meet them in person, you get on FaceTime, it's 2025. You can get a feel for a person FaceTiming or text. And if you're meeting, the meeting should be a little bit more dynamic than coffee. It should be a dinner or a place where you guys could talk in person. But listen to his reasons on why a coffee shop is good. Take a listen.
Issue isn't that women want to be impressed, it's that they want to be impressed by gesture and not the man. Ooh. It's like 300 on the bill. Any with money can 300 on the bill, or any dude that's desperate enough to fake it. Yeah. You can't fake generosity. You can't fake humility. You can't fake service. You can't fake leadership. You can only like put up a charade so long until shorty realize none of those things. But it's like, rather than look at the intangibles, because I ain't gonna lie, I personally got offended because they put coffee dates on there. I'm gonna give away one of my plays, man. I'm gonna give away one of my all-day date plays. It's a play that doesn't miss. Super date me. Coffee, museum, bar.
I just got wet.
And no, it's coffee, museum, lunch, bar.
Listen why though, really important, listen.
You owe food if you got somebody out that long. But check me out, bro. Coffee dates strip people down. Yes, you may feel like you're getting a cheap experience. That's the point, because no one can hide behind money. I can't hide behind how much money I make. You can't hide behind how much money you put into your appearance. Both of us have to actually show up at the table as human beings. We have to engage one another. We have to have a real conversation.
Wow, I feel like that is amazing. Yo, you can't show up to coffee with your hair overly done, crazy makeup, heels, legs out, body out, all of this stuff. No, you got to show up to coffee regular, or else you're looking crazy. You got to show up regular. I got to show up regular. I can't come in here with like, not like I'm into designer stuff, but like you don't show up with designer. You're not showing up flossing. You're not showing up. You're not walking up to the club and being like, yo, you know who I am? I'm trying out loud. I'll just walk in or do this. Or, yo, I'm bringing you to a bar or a restaurant where everybody knows my name and you're like, no. It's a coffee shop where nobody cares. There's no overdressing. There's no music. There's no drinking. There's no nothing. It's just me and you, and we're talking. Nobody has an advantage, and everybody, the both of us, we're literally there, and we have us, and we can only talk and find out about us. There is zero advantage from anybody. There's no, woo, that was a $1,000 meal, which that shouldn't impress anybody anyways, but coffee. Think about it. Even I was like, yeah, your coffee can't be your first date. This is a great way to get to know a real person, guy or girl, without any distractions. I thought it was really, really smart. Okay, let's jump over to lesson of the day. I have 3 of them. Okay, first lesson of the day is pick your partner's bad qualities. Now, I'm sorry, you guys have heard me say this before. No, it's all about picking the bad qualities. If you can deal or speak or negotiate the bad qualities, you hit a home run. Love, we talk about love being an umbrella term. Love is not the good, the fun, the traveling, the partying, the intimacy, that is easy. It is loving the bad, believing in the person, wanting more for them, speaking with them and saying, look, this is not the best of you, but I love you and I know you could do more, and I'm going to help you do more. And even if you don't, these are certain things that I could deal with, even if you want to try, and I try as well too. Listen to this.
Only way to have healthy relationships is to have a realistic expectation of what it means to be human, which means you can't meet my needs 100% of the time. You are going to have things that you do that drive me crazy. There are going to be things that I do that drive you crazy. It's the concept of, can we accept what it is to be normal as a human being?
The baggage that you pick is the baggage you can handle.
Woo!
And so you have to keep in mind, when you're picking a partner, you're actually not picking all of their positive qualities as much as you're picking all the negative ones and saying to yourself, yeah, I could work with that. I could tolerate that. If you have picked a partner and you can't tolerate the hard parts, boy, did you pick wrong. Doesn't mean it's too late. You can rework your identity and what you really need in the relationship and lower those needs down to a baseline, not zero, right? But you can do it.
Yep.
But that's the way you should be looking at your relationship.
Now, as I say every day, this is not just for love relationship. This is job. This is friendship. Anything that I play in social discussion, or especially lesson of the day, can apply. But of course, as you know, online, people love talking about relationships and love. So this could apply with anything. Like a job. You think you're going to find the most perfect job in the world? No, you find a job of something that is of your interest. And then you pick a job where, I know this is going to suck. I know this boss might not be the best or whatever, blah, blah, but I can deal with this negative versus this other job here that might be paying a little bit more, but you cannot deal with this boss. You cannot deal with the 2-hour travel, and you cannot deal with the work environment. You got to know what you can deal with. And I like what he said there. You can always be able to rework it, never low down to nothing where you're just accepting everything. But what I like to think about the reworking is this is where communication comes in. And it's not so much the incidences or the bad things, it's communication. So it's like, hey, I like you, cool. Here are some of the things that are not the best of you. You might not even realize it. And me from the outside, I see more, which is a lot of people don't get. I literally was just talking about this yesterday. I like when people tell me about me because I know you're watching me. I'm inside my body. For you guys, you're watching a movie and I'm watching your movie. So it's so much easier for me to see you than you can see you. And a lot of people don't want to accept that. So once a person could show that they could start accepting that, and then you bring them some of the qualities that are not the best in them, and if they start making changes, then the relationship starts. But very important, this is what this video is that even if they can't make some changes or it's only halfway, you still can't think to yourself, I really like this person, but the good qualities are going to outweigh. If you don't feel like even them working or trying is good enough, then you cannot stay in a relationship with that. You have to be okay with those bad qualities. If they can't work and bring up to those standards, you have to leave. It can't just be, all the good stuff, because that bad is going to drive you nuts. Love the bad qualities. Okay, let's go to the next one, which I really love also, is how you present is what you attract. Now, they're more talking about a woman here because it's a woman who asked the question. But again, this is a job interview. This is your neighbors. This is your friends. And especially this is your relationship. We tend to think, men and women, that we need to present one thing that we think is the best of us. Like, I know I'm great at this, or I know I look this way, or I know this, whatever, and you do that. And sometimes you don't realize what that is going to attract. That's why for me, I'm always presenting who I am, because I want to attract people who are like-minded like me. So I'll present my business acumen, I'll present my humor, I'll present my spontaneity, I'll present my confidence, I'll present my looks, I'll present what I want to attract. I've always been very cognizant of that. When I walk in a room, I know what I want to present, because I want to walk out of that room. I don't want you to think one thing of me. I don't want you to think two things of me. I want you to think 4 or 5 things of me because I know I'm a dynamic person and I know I have a lot to offer. So it's very important to not just focus on one thing because it could be detrimental. Take a listen.
Kitty, won't you wink at me?
What's your question?
I meet people from everywhere. I've seen the world, but for some reason, I still can't find love, not love that's like genuine, someone who don't want me for the benefits.
I think we gotta be honest about presentation.
Come on.
No judgment to you, but I'm saying if I'm meeting you here tonight and I'm looking at how you dress, my thoughts are not gonna be intellectual.
That's not fair, but okay.
That's not fair. I don't want you to be mad at me. The way you came to that microphone, baby.
Oh my God.
Kitty, can you wink at me?
Kitty, I love you.
I love you too, baby. But let me tell you something. As a woman who done had to go a lot of stages through my life, I done had to go through a lot of seasons, a lot of mistakes. There was a spirit that I operated in a long time ago that made me promiscuous. It was something that attached itself to me, and I lived in it for a very, very, very long time. It was the way that I was speaking to people, the way that I presented myself in conversations, the way I presented myself to men, and those men only wanted me for sex. And I kept going through that same cycle until I released that spirit, until I was delivered from that spirit that was in me. I'm a wife. I had to release a lot of things. I had to ask God to restore me in a lot of ways. You can cover up right now, but even by the way you talk, it's in you right now. If you are running in the same cycle, it's time to do some inner work. You got to look within and see exactly what is the cycle that I'm allowing myself to stay in. You can put on some clothes right now. You go to a man, ooh, can you talk to me for a second? He's going to see the sexual nature that's in you, and he's going to lead, just like what Trill was saying. You can cover up all day long. It's in a way that it's in your behaviors, in the way you talk, in the way you interact, in the way you engage, in the way you talk about your future, in the way you talk about yourself. If you're running into the same problem, it's a you problem, baby.
By the way, her voice is, I love her voice, but that's why I always say that women are so much more dynamic. The guy was just like, look at the way how you're dressed. She was like, forget about the way how you're dressed. You could put on a garbage bag. The way how you speak, your tone, your demeanor, all of that stuff, I could tell that you're not presenting what you want to attract, and you need to change that. And if you keep on being in that same circle and that same situation, it's a you problem. It's not even an outfit problem. It's a you internal problem. So always be cognizant of how you're presenting, whether it be online, whether it be in your resume for a job. Well, I don't care. The minute you get outside, the minute you're around people, be cognizant of what you're presenting. I tell this all the time whenever I'm giving keynotes or whether I'm speaking at schools or wherever it is. You're always negotiating. And the negotiation starts the second you walk through the door. And trust me, I've been in some big rooms and negotiated with some big brands and big people in the entertainment industry and in the business world. Okay? Right, but side by side with the CEO of Nike, one of the greatest companies in the world. I had a over 10-year partnership. Ups and downs, bringing them to court. The negotiation, the minute, the handshake, the hello, that's when it starts. And you got to be presenting all the time. You have to know what you want and who you want to be. And you need to know the goal and the outcome that you want and make sure that you're presenting at all times. Lastly, I have a great one. And the reason why I'm super excited about this one is y'all know that I am a huge mental health advocate. I've traveled the world talking about mental health. Shout out to Charlemagne and Dr. Alfie for the Mental Health Alliance. A lot of people talk about mental health nowadays. A lot of people know words that they didn't know or that we didn't use 5-10 years ago, especially on social media. And a lot of people are more aware of these terminologies and these words, and they're aware about mental health, and they're aware about attracting energies and giving away energies. But this video, this guy is going to tell you about 99% of those people will know the words, will even know how to do it. But when it comes time to actually implement the teachings, implement those words in your life, that's when we see the real mental health advocates or the real people that want to change their life around. And I was one of those people when I first started going to therapy. What? No, that's not me. No, I'm good. I went back. What? Why can't you just tell me? Why can't you just do that? No. And then I understood that therapy is work. And that's why I always make the correlation to a therapist is no different from a personal trainer. A personal trainer, you go and you say, I want to have bigger biceps, I want to have abs, and I want to have legs. They'll give you a plan. They'll even show you how to do it, show you how to do the form and everything. They'll even give you a diet plan. And I promise you, if you follow that plan, you will get all the results. But guess what the trainer cannot do? The trainer cannot lift those weights for you. They cannot be with you 24 hours a day to make sure that you're eating right and resting right. And neither can your therapist. And neither could anybody who you hear online. These videos that I play, they're nice. Oh yeah, it's really nice. How often do you actually take the lesson and then do it? And a lot of people don't do it because it's hard. Therapy was hard for me. Every time I got off, it was like, this is what you're going to do this week. I was always saying with my therapist, I want to talk to you every day. He's like, no, I'm giving you something to do. Now write it down, do the work, come back the next week, let me know how it was, and I can help keep on guiding you. And when I unlocked that I actually had to do the work, things started to change in my life. Listen to this.
The problem is everyone is healing, but no one's changing. Everyone's healing now. At least, that's what they say. Therapy language everywhere. Boundaries everywhere, self-care everywhere. But somehow the same patterns keep repeating, the same behaviors, the same reactions, the same excuses, just with better wording. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Healing isn't learning new words, it's changing what you do. You can talk about your trauma all day, you can understand your attachment style, you can explain exactly why you are the way you are, and still hurt people in the exact same way, and still avoid hard conversations, and still shut down when things get uncomfortable, and still blame your past every time you're asked to take responsibility. And at some point, self-awareness without action stops being healing and starts being hiding. Because I'm healing isn't a free pass. It doesn't excuse poor communication. It doesn't excuse inconsistency. It doesn't excuse treating people badly and calling it self-protection. Healing isn't knowing why you do something. It's doing something different the next time it shows up. It's catching yourself before you react the same way. It's choosing discomfort now instead of damage later. And that part is hard. So people avoid it. They intellectualize their pain. They romanticize their wounds. They turn their trauma into an identity instead of, something to work through, because changing means letting go of familiar patterns, even the ones that hurt you, even the ones that feel like home. And not everyone wants that. Some people want the language of healing without the responsibility of growth. But real healing shows up quietly in how you communicate and how you handle conflict and how you apologize and how you treat people when you're triggered. Not in captions, not in quotes, not in what you say you're working on, but in what you no longer repeat. So yeah, everyone's healing, apparently, but healing that doesn't change behavior is just, self-awareness on pause. And if nothing in your life looks different, if the same issues keep coming back, if the same conversations keep ending the same way, it might not be healing. It might just be, familiarity with better vocabulary.
Can you guys just allow me to go through this? I know sometimes some of you guys hate when I pause stuff, but I just have to make this.
Changing. Everyone's healing now. At least, that's what they say. Therapy language everywhere. Boundaries everywhere. Self-care everywhere. But somehow the same patterns keep repeating, the same behaviors, the same reactions, the same.
They say hitting your head against the wall and expecting the same result is insanity. So many people don't realize how insane they are.
Excuses, just with better wording. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Healing isn't learning new words. It's changing what you do.
It's changing what you do. You learn the words, but if you're not changing what you do, you're just learning words. If you want a better vocabulary, it's fine with me.
You can talk about your trauma all day. You can understand your attachment style. You can explain exactly who why you are the way you are, and still hurt people in the exact same way, and still avoid hard conversations, and still shut down when things get uncomfortable, and still blame your past every time you're asked to take responsibility. And at some point, self-awareness without action stops being healing and starts being hiding.
Self-awareness without action. Again, it's action, it's the work. It's hard. You might not get it right away, but you have to keep working.
Because I'm healing isn't a free pass. It doesn't excuse poor communication.
I love that. I'm healing, I'm trying, I didn't mean it. That's not an excuse.
It doesn't excuse inconsistency. It doesn't excuse treating people badly and calling it self-protection. Healing isn't knowing why you do something. It's doing something different the next time it shows up.
Woo! Doing something different the next time. This guy, oh my gosh.
It's catching yourself before you react the same way. It's choosing discomfort now instead of damage later. And that
choosing discomfort now, like this is so uncomfortable. And a lot of people are uncomfortable with discomfort. Just know whenever you're uncomfortable with something, whenever you're nervous about something, whenever you have anxiety about something, sometimes it's a good thing. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations because you know that's change. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You got to put yourself in hard situations, or else you're just going to stay in the same comfortable pattern that hasn't been working.
That part is hard. So people avoid it. They intellectualize their pain. They romanticize their wounds. They turn their trauma into an identity instead of, something to work through, because changing means letting go of familiar patterns.
Ooh, changing means letting go of familiar patterns. Gosh, that should be a tattoo.
Even the ones that hurt you, even the ones that feel like home. Yep. And not everyone wants that. Some people want the language of healing without the responsibility of growth.
Oof, without the responsibility of growth.
But real healing shows up quietly in how you communicate and how you handle conflict and how you apologize and how you treat people when you're triggered. Not in captions, not in quotes, not in what you say you're working on, but in what you no longer repeat. So yeah, everyone's healing, apparently, but healing that doesn't change behavior is just, self-awareness on pause. And if nothing in your life looks different, if the same issues...
If nothing in your life looks different, that is, I know I stopped it a lot and said there's a lot of good things. If nothing in your life ever looks different, then what the hell are you doing? You only got one life. What are you doing with it?
Keep coming back. If the same conversations keep ending the same way, it might not be healing. It might just be, familiarity with better vocabulary.
Jeez. Yo, sorry that I had to rewind that, but that was powerful and I really wanted to make the point. All right. Yo, we got a lot of comments to get through. Hold on. Just round of applause. I got to find out what his name was. All right. I do not have a question of the day today because I already had so many videos with social discussion and lesson of the day. Let's go over to the comment section. All right, y'all. What up? Bam. All right, I was 1 hour and 9 minutes. I've been trying to do 1 hour shows, but y'all know me, like I like to talk a lot, but my favorite part of the show is here, and that's getting to y'all. Okay. So, hey, Nolens is in the building. Nolens says, good evening, Out Louders. Kim is here. What up, everybody? Out Louders. Hope everybody is enjoying the day. Let's get in here. Great show, Trent. Shout out to Kim. Sorry, Robert. I was about to say Roberta, but I remember it's Robert Abram. What up, Robert? Good evening, my brother. Thanks for the knowledge and information. Great job. Thank you very much, Robert. Cynthia. Hey, Trent. Hey, Cynthia. What up? Hey, Morgan's in the building. What up? The the geo photographer, I think. I'm so excited to make my first live when it's actually, I'm so excited to make my first live when it's actually live. Happy Thursday. Welcome to your first live. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Nowlin said, so excited to hear the tea from Trent. What up, what up, what up, what up? America Forgot Herb says, hi, America Forgot Herbs. I don't know. I guess this is something. I have no idea. But here we go. Siwa J from Johannesburg, South Africa. Yo, Joburg. I'm sorry I'm not pronouncing your name right. S-I-Y-A. Sia, I think it is. Y'all know I used to live in South Africa, Cape Town. I was there on a modeling contract, and they never let me go to Johannesburg. I'm so mad. But shout out to Joburg. I will be there one day, and then I'm going to Ghana and Nigeria. What up? What up? What up? Nolan said, how was your day, Trent? You are pretty hype. I'm always hype, especially on the Thursday. Come on. Bam, 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 bam. Siwa said, bah, 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 bah. I love that. Debbie said, hi, Trent. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much. Tez Wagwan, you are in an excited mood with that white towel hanging on your shoulder. Oh, yeah. Yo, my reels, if I'm going in the shower with a bag on my head and I'm about to do a reel, I'm keeping my bag on. If I'm getting dressed, if I'm in my bed, my Instagram, I've made a decision in 2026. It's the real me. You want to follow the real me? This here, I'm there, I'm in my shirt. I got lights and all that stuff. No, Instagram, you're getting real Trent. Sidebar, my mom DM'd me and she's like, why are you on Instagram with a bag on your head? And oh my gosh, my mom, she's always so like protective and extra, but yeah, I got in a little bit of trouble too. I actually got in trouble yesterday too. Maybe I'll tell you at the end of the show. I got a text from my mom. Tez said, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Tez says he was acting a fool. Y'all know I love acting like a fool. Crystal said, hey, Trent and the Louders, let's go. Tez says, and threw in Aaron Pierre joke in there. Of course, like anytime I can hate on Aaron Pierre, that's what I'm going to do. He says, what up, Tez? He says something, Tez. Hey, Crystal, hope you're enjoying your day. That's from Kim. Mystery says, hello, Trent. Hello, Mystery. Coming by way of Twitch again. I'm sure you're probably the only person there. There we go. Streaming on Twitch from the UK. What up, what up, what up, what up? Nolan said, oh my gosh, this is so awful. Threats are unacceptable. However, did you see what they said? Oh my gosh, not too sure what that is. Eddie said the world is going crazy right now. Facts. Eddie says they want division and chaos. 1000%. Debbie says Trump is a piece of work. Kim said, Eddie, I totally agree with you. 1000%. Totally tell blatant lies. That was Coco. Tez says, at this point, what's Constitution? Oh, because we're talking about the Constitution. Eddie said, yep. Coco said, I hope the general defies his orders. Non says the block is hot in Minnesota. Rest in peace, George Floyd. We know that Minnesota is not nice. That part, Tez, says Kim. Kate Thomas said, howdy, Trent. Katie from West London, UK. What up, Katie? Nolan said, it's a shame good people are being treated so poorly. We have got to do better. Totally agree. Kim says, hey there from the UK. Cynthia says, was Candace right about them? Coco said, I'm sure it is, especially by criminals. I think we have a new person here. Sila Sheshe. Hey, Trent and the Outlouders, what up? Mystery said, I agree with you, Trent, regarding the situation around the ICE agents. The U.S. citizens are not afraid, not one of them. That's what I love about the U.S., man. Love that, love that, love that. Tez says, what needs to be invoked is Article 2, Section 4. Love that, Tez. Coco said, they have the right to protest for their rights after being harassed and terrorized. They should round up and go gather in form of the White House. Oh, in front of the White House, I think you meant to say. Yes, totally agree. Hey, Shannon's here. What up, Shannon? What up, what up, what up? Our newest member of the Outlouders, Shannon. Did I say Sharon? Shannon joined the Out Loud membership yesterday. Welcome, Shannon. She did actually live on air. What up, Shannon? Kim says, what is Article 2, Section 4, Tez? La Shay said Project 25 has been wanting to be king, 100%. Hey, Shannon, welcome. Glad you're here. That was from Kim. Nolan said, look at the direction where the I don't know what that word is. Hostilizes are coming from. No need for the Insurrection Act. Exactly. Shannon says, I have both sides equally. I think we need moderators like you and I. Love that. Totally agree, Shannon. The audacity. That's Lala. Hey, Kim. Good to see you too. That's Nolan's talking to Kim. It's literally a uni party. Gia, what up, Gia? She said, hello, Trent. I'm late. What up? Manhattan in the building. Leo said, only if he has to run against Obama. That would be hilarious. Jen says, the Democrats in office are really quiet. It's like they take turns screwing us over. Skill says, champagne poopy. I think that's a diss. Shannon said, hey, Kim. Morgan says, talk that talk, Trent. Come on. Tess says, this leader is the epitome of a red herring professional dictator. Kim says, you as well, Nolan. Sylvan, not sure how to pronounce that name. How are y'all handling it as Americans? I obviously only know from the news or Trent. Thank you very much. Shannon said, he is only one person, and we didn't get here overnight. Started with the Patriot Act and Bush. They wanted a new world order agenda, 2030. Facts. I think Trump is despicable. That's Shannon. Shannon also said we need to step back and see how these presidents are just puppets of their handlers. That I also agree with. I know we like to drag Trump, but we know there's a lot of people behind him. It's always the people who will never know the names who are really in control. I totally agree with you, Shannon. It's a uni party. We have no friends. Oops. Hold on. Tez says, Kim, it's where Congress can actually impeach the president, vice president, and all civil officers in his cabinet. Let's go. Trump said he's afraid of getting impeached. That's why he doesn't want midterms. Pam said, good people work real jobs. These people are paid. Shannon says, I love my country. I love the people, but I despise the government. Shannon said that she agrees. La Shay, that does not make sense. Attack a guy with GUN with a shovel. We don't know if that story is true. Kim said, I agree with you, Shannon. Crystal said, hey, Kim, I was finishing up work so I could get home for the day, but thank you. How you doing, love? Kim, we are just going down a dark path. Oops. Hey, Crystal, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well. That's from Kim back to Shannon. I love the out louders. La says, I'm not directly affected me yet, but Trump will be coming for California soon enough. Facts. Kim say, yes, we are, Shannon. It's very scary. I think Cardi B needs to stick to the internet and not rapping because she cannot rap. Shannon said, Biden opened the borders free for all of them. Let them in, let the fraud happen, knowing Trump was going to be installed and he was going to round them up. Could be a possibility. Shannon said they let the fraud happen so they could have an excuse to cut the programs. Crystal said, oh my gosh, the whole world has gone crazy. They work together. It's called, I don't know what that word is. Something dialect. Nolan says, Cardi is Cardi. Met Gala sounds great. See you in NYC. Kim says, if we're being artists, Cardi B can't rap. She needs to just stick to the internet. I don't think that she's like the best rapper in the world, but I do think she makes good music though. Oops. Shannon said, they are speeding up these agendas. Venezuela, Maduro, get rid of, cleared out 0.5% of the population so big tech could come in and big corporations could take over. Shannon said, I'm not a huge Cardi B fan, but it's okay. She's a pretty woman. Shannon says, depopulation is an agenda ordered out of chaos. Kim says, Cardi B is a beautiful woman, got great sense of humor, but again, she cannot rap. Somebody else said, not even a DJ. Shannon said, Kim, I agree with you. She's just pretty and funny. She is entertaining. Let's get to give her that. I haven't had respect for him for a long time, especially when he attacked the kid. That was just weird. Oh, you're talking about Akademiks. Hold on. Right, not even a DJ. Akademiks gives me mommy issues. He has, I don't know what that word is. Something gossip box. Sure, it's bad. I love it. Everything is online. G's from Nolans. Dude is such a scumbag. Still talking about Akademiks. Scumbag. Hey, everybody. Be sure to hit that like button. Thanks, Kim. That's awesome. La Sheshe. Kim says, I'm down with the new nail thing, but is it safe, like healthy for the body? That I have no idea about. La Sheshe said she loves it. Mystery said, I like the nail gadget. It's real cool. I wonder if there is any side effects. See, I didn't even think about those things. I think it's hella cute. I love it, says Kim. Shayla said, I don't like the inside, though. Okay, I could see that. Mars said, what up, Mars? I would still need to go and get a fill. Oh, you would still need to go and get a fill on your nails. Hey, T. What up, Mars? Crystal said, what? How does the nail polish change like that? It's crazy. Crystal said, yeah, it's pretty cool. I knew you guys would like it. Shaylala said, real man, real relationship. Nice gestures is just love bombing. Woo! I really like you, Shaylala. Kim said, I would not have a problem checking my family when they're wrong. Nolan said, I wouldn't cut off my fam entirely, just put a little distance between them. Fair. Mars says, divorce is real. Never cut off your family or friends from, I guess, like from the past. I love my fam in spite of their differences. That's Nolan's. Kim says, oh no, I couldn't cut off my family. We would have a deep discussion, but I would not disown my family. Never talk to my family again. Now we got to come to some kind of agreement. But I think that's like I said, for her cutting off, she's Christian. For me, I would have, like I said, have a talk or whatever, but there has to be a time where you put your foot down. And, again, I would never have to worry about situation because my mother nor father would ever be that way. But sometimes it comes a point where you got to put your foot down, but that's just my opinion. Mara says, from time we will need them. Trust me. Next person, Stacy. That's right. I made band is a favorite man of God. What? That's right. I made band is a favorite man of God. That's from Stacy. Says facts. Kim says, I agree with your saying, Trent, I would save my kids. My husband wouldn't be here. Totally agree with that. Stacey says, that's right. I'm married. Man is a favored man. Crystal said, I would not allow any environment where anybody would feel uncomfortably disrespecting my man. I agree with you, Crystal. Mars says, save your kid first. I would never marry a man who didn't pick our kids or the kids. If you're a parent through marriage first. Again, that's a Christian religion, right? Lashesha said, my brother's wife isolated him slowly from family and then friends and then family. Chaos wise, who are you willing to leave your family for? I understand what you guys are saying. Crystal said, period. I agree, Crystal. It shouldn't even get that far. Shayla said, my Wife is the in address. Kim says, this guy has a great point, and I totally agree with him about a coffee date. Yeah, it's so good. I think that is so good. A gesture will only go so far and definitely can be fake. Totally agree with you. Nolan says, great. Kind gestures are greatly appreciated. Fair. Crystal said, damn, this man's strategic. Facts. Shannon said, save our kids first. I wouldn't want to be here without my kids. Coffee date equals the playing field. Morgan said that. Totally agree. Shannon, kids first, spouse second, parents after. Facts. Something custom design. I've been trying to catch a live. Hell yeah. Welcome. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Hey Shaylala, welcome. Hey Shayla. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. Welcome, Shayla. See how nice this out louders are. Thanks for welcoming Shaylala. Trent sending love from Louisiana. What up, Louisiana? I'm coming there to visit one day, man. What's your name? Helen. Shaylala, thanks, ladies. Coffee and a chess game. Okay, Shannon. Kim says, welcome, Helen from Louisiana. No distractions. Facts. Hey, Shannon. Chess, that's a good one for me. It's true, and you can see how like their person's mind works, strategy and stuff. iPolish is hip and slick. Mystery says, when you leave home and you get married, your wife comes first, or vice versa, husband comes first. Your parents take second place. Painful, but trust. Let's hope everyone can still love and respect each other. That's the Christian way. I certainly would try it. I think that's Nolan talking about the nails. Nolan said, presentation is everything. Be on A game all day long. Kim says, I thought the same thing when I saw this. Go get your set up. They like, hello, come get me. I'm not sure what that means. Felicia said, good evening, out loudest. Hello, Trent. Good evening, Felicia. Caught another live. I'm happy you caught another live. Facts, you need to present yourself for the world, what you want to attract in it. Yes. That says, hey, don't present like Jada Kingdom. Present how you want to be received. 1000%. Kim said, I totally agree with you, Trent. I have been going to therapy since I was maybe 12 years old. Wow, that's amazing. I'm now 54. I'll be 55 at the end of the month. Hey, be sure to be here on your birthday so we can all sing and wish you happy birthday, Kim. And the tools I have in my toolbox I use on a daily basis. Love that for you, Kim. I love this. It appears up quietly. So true. You do the work, things will change for the better. Love that. Shannon says, everyone is a little crazy. This is true. Crystal says, healing is deeper than changing words and what you do. Healing is all about a mindset shift. In turn, changes how you act, what you do, and what you say, and how you present yourself. I love that, Crystal. Kim says, yes, we are, Shannon. Oh, that's the crazy comment. Yes, Crystal. Yeah, Crystal's dropping bars, yo. Tess says, nothing happening or changing without action. Growth comes from pain, and diamonds are formed under pressure. Yes. Shannon said, I grew up in foster care. No parents was moved. Sorry, I grew up in foster care. No parents was moved over 32 times. Wow. But Shannon, it made you the person who you are. So I never like to think of anything. God has a plan, and that was your destiny. And I don't know you that well, but I could tell by the music you like. I know that you're a good person, and you're always going to overcome anything. So just know that God always has a plan for you. He gives his strongest. God always gives his strongest stuff, his hardest lessons to his strongest soldiers, something along those lines. Kim says, I agree with you and what you're saying. Jen says, I turned 18 and I was so relieved. Hey, out louders. That's Emma. What up, Emma? Jen says, once you're grown, the world don't care. Emma says, it's Friday Eve. Facts. That's what I'm going to start calling Thursday. Like, what up? It's Friday Eve. Gia said, oh my gosh, I told you, Trent, Cardi B is doing too much. She is moving the wrong way for her career. Yep, you're one of the persons who I thought about when, when I was seeing all the hate online. You guys were right. You saw it before me. Emma says, hey, Kim, I made another live. Lasheshe said, wow, you're the first content creator that said my name right. It's a Jamaican thing. I'm half Jamaican. And me, I'm dyslexic, so I'm shocked myself I got it right. Mars says Trump needs to be impeached and thrown in jail for treason, along with his entire administration that supports him. Kim says, thank you, Tez. The hell is this? I don't know. The Trent Out Loud show. Thank you, Tez. That's what Kim said. You're welcome, Kim. Everybody who HP. Hold on. Dr. Umar called Drewski a culture vulture for the skit. Really, Tez? I didn't see that yet. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Lasheshe said, everybody involved in hurting us and our country should be along with Trump. I think you're talking about Mars's comment right there. Put them in jail, like Trent always says. Facts. Put them in jail. Put them under the jail. Who's going to jail? Nolan said, excellent show, Trent. Thank you. Mars says, T, I say kids first always. I wouldn't marry a man who wouldn't think that way. Agree with you, Mars. Nolan said, lies are the best. Thank you, Nolans. And Mystery said, great show again, Trent. Well, thank you very much. All right, let me say my sign out, and then I'll go back if there's any last comments there. Woo! I thought we had a great show today. I know I went a little ham with the social discussions and lesson of the day, but I think you guys like them. I feel like we're a lot alike and just being learning all the time and being productive with our lives. So thank you guys for letting me get that off. For you guys who have been following me a long time, this show for me was never going to be about politics or entertainment. It was supposed to be a show how to live your truth and just, the journey through life and how to better it. That's what it was. I was supposed to interview people, and I started doing entertainment, and I started, I got viral with Diddy. So it's for me that I get to put the social discussions and lesson of the day in there. So thank you guys for that. Okay. All right. Before I let you guys go, I got to remind you of 3 things. While I am live, if you ever want to give back to the show, there's a super chat, but also after the video is posted, there's a super thanks that you could give back. Also, second thing is, do not forget to sign up to the Trent Out Loud membership, like Shannon signed up yesterday. If you're on YouTube, you'll see a join button or membership somewhere around there. Do not forget to join. And thirdly, do not forget to sign up for Aura. It is absolutely free. Here is a QR code right here. It's absolutely free for 14 days. Take your phone and your cameras out. Or there's also a link below. Do not go on the internet. It's the Wild Wild West out there. And if you have been navigating without any protection, Aura for free could get your information that's on the dark web removed for you, okay? Link below. Also, before I let you go, I just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. We have 3 distinct ways. For those of you who like to listen to these types of shows on podcast platforms, we're available on all of them. Just go to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow and subscribe button, or follow or subscribe button, so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload daily. We are 5 days a week. Now, the second way is for people like me who like to watch shows like this. I love video and interacting with people. So head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. I'm going to need you to do 6 things over on YouTube. First one is hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Third thing is, thank you guys very much for all the live comments, but please make sure to still comment when the video is posted. It helps the video, it helps the algorithm, and it helps people get interactive, even for the ones who are not on lives. Okay, so make sure you try to comment and weigh in. You guys are my co-hosts. I need you for this show to work. Now, for those of you who don't want to comment, I don't want you to feel pressured at all. One of the things that you can do in the comment section is leave me the country or city that you're watching the show from. Every night before I go to bed, it's my thing that I do. I look at all the comments, and what I love to see, other than the discussions, is to see how global the show is, okay? So let me know where you are watching from. Fourth thing, also very important, we are actively trying to grow this platform. This is a long-term play for us, thinking 5 years, 10 years. We're trying to grow this channel and grow this platform. If you share this channel, if you share this video, it really helps us a lot in the long term for our goals, okay? So if you're liking this, please share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. The fifth thing, please sign up for the Out Loud membership, become an official Out Louder today. And 6, do not forget the super chat or the super thanks after the video is posted. Now, third thing, which is new this year in 2026, we are streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Kick. So make sure to catch us on any of those streaming platforms live. We go 5 days a week between 5 and 6 o'clock. It's most of the time 5:30, but in between that hour, we go live for close to an hour and a half or 2 hours. So you can check us out. Podcast platforms, always. YouTube for any sort of video. And if you like that live interaction, we're available on most live streaming platforms. All right. Now, for those of you who want to follow me outside of the show and get the raw trend, you could follow me on all the social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram, but I'm still very active on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all of them. All right. So make sure you catch me on that. Like I said, it's also the same handle, Trent Out Loud. Very, very important. On Instagram, please try to follow the Trent Out Loud Show on Instagram. I'm doing almost every hour or every 2 hours takes, breaking news, funny things, videos, things that I can't get away with here on YouTube. There's copyright infringements or some things that you can't play. You really want the unabated, real Trent with me just waking up with a groggy voice. Make sure you follow the Trent Out Loud Show. It's fun over there. It's just very different than what's going on here. We can get really more interactive, right? So follow the Trent Out Loud Show on IG. All right. Last comments that I missed before I go. Next, last one is Shay said, good vibes, God gives his strongest battles to his strongest soldiers. Thank you very much, my Jamaican queen. Mars says, whoop, whoop, great show. Thank you very much, Mars. Mr. said, good night, Trent and all. Shay Lala said, yes, great show. Thank you very much. Emma said, I think it's Emma said, awesome show. Thank you. Kim says, Out Louders and everybody else in the chat, have a great night. Be safe out in them streets. Talk to y'all tomorrow. As always, peace, love, and happiness to everyone. Thank you very much for that, Kim. Crystal said, I'm dropping bars, just trying to be a good co-host. You set them up and I knock them down. Let's go, Crystal. Kim says, another great show, Trent. Thank you very, very much, Kim. Emma said, have a good day, Out Louders. Crystal says, yeah, nice, Crystal. Sorry, Kim says, nice, Crystal. Emma said, agreed. And Kim gets the last one with the confetti flowers. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. Make sure we see y'all back here tomorrow for everyone's most excited day. And I get to yell out, it's Friday. I'm not going to yell it out now. You got to wait for tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. I love y'all. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.